Just to start, I think debt is a social justice issue. And the reason why it is because of most of these loans are borrowed with an objective to address a social need. And it has been very sad that historically, some of these debts have been borrowed to address a certain social need, but they have ended up not addressing those needs, but ending up in the pockets of few individuals. I'll give few examples. One, in the late 1970s, Kenya took a loan to build a fertilizer company called Kenren. And we took a loan of, Jomo Kenyatta took a loan of 350 million shillings. The sad part is that the factory was never built. And imagine how that could have impacted on the farmers of this country, having a local fertilizer company that then you no longer have to import fertilizers. So 30 years later, the final payment of that loan was done last year. And we borrowed 350 million shillings and we ended up paying 6.3 billion shillings without that fertilizer company. And it's very sad that we have government just paying such loans, no investigation on what happened and where the money ended up. So on the issue of agriculture is affected as a sector because we could be having our own fertilizer company. Another aspect of the example of agriculture is the Jubilee when they came in 2017 with their four agendas: one, food security, manufacturing, housing, and affordable healthcare. On the issue of food security, we had the Gulani Kulalu project, the maize project that was addressing the issue of us not borrowing, not getting maize from outside. On that, the project was worth 7 billion. We borrowed, out of the 7, we borrowed 6.3 billion from Israel. From Israel, the project collapsed, as we all know. Now, we don't have the food security. That means Kenya will continue getting food, maize from outside, but we'll continue also paying this loan. So how does that affect our social economic impact? It will mean the price of unga will continue rising. Yet this could have made the price of unga to come down. So it's very sad looking at how these debts have are being taken left, right, and center. Right now we are talking about 9 trillion, and how our generations and future generations are going to suffer because they'll continue being taxed, they'll continue paying more taxes, they'll continue suffering. On the issue of manufacturing, most of the companies are closing down. On the issue of housing, the Jubilee Manifesto, 500,000 houses, we haven't seen any. I don't know if they've built any. So we are asking if these are the 4 agendas which President Uhuru and Ruto had, yet we haven't achieved any, but we've increased our debt level to 9 trillion. So it shows that this issue of debt, we have to take it more seriously. And personally, and as a social justice movement, we are also urging our comrades from the sector who are working on issues of debt. One, let us simplify this debt language. You know, this debt language is so technical that most people either run away from or they don't understand anything. And also, we have to start involving the community so that we can have a public campaign on debt, taxation, and illicit financial flows that is run and by the community, so that we don't leave all this advocacy to only the technocrats. And we need a serious anti-corruption campaign against these debts. because most of them end up in people's pockets. And everyone has spoken about public participation. I think it's very, very paramount that public participation in all aspects, including the issue of public debt. Because as we continue, we imagine the Jubilee administration, by the time we're done with two more years, I don't know what will be the debt. Maybe we'll be at 11 trillion. Yet, in the ground, core ground, written different. We are not seeing. Right now, we have COVID. We look at our public health sector. It's seriously collapsed. So we can see there is no relationship between development and the public borrowing that has been going on. So personally, I think we need to have a serious campaign, but it has to start from the grassroots where people are first are educated and they understand the impact of this debt, because others like going to court, we've tried those, the court orders are not respected. But if we come up with a serious campaign that it makes people talk about it across the country, maybe we'll change the narrative of how we do the debt advocacy. Thanks. I'll stop there because of time. Asante sana.